So my first tip when it comes to building is to get familiar with the advanced editor. When you have this enabled, you could click this box here to make it so you can't right click and edit any of the default walls, which is super helpful. To look around, you right click and drag with this, and your inventory menu on the bottom will stay open. The downsides to this is that you can still right click to edit canvas walls, which can be really annoying if you're doing a lot of custom work. Makes the advanced editor pretty much impossible to use. Or another reason you might not want to use this is you can't use the copycat tool or any of those other tools while you have this menu open. That segues us pretty nicely to the tools. So the two you really use is the targeter tool and the copycat tool. This quick scaler isn't used too much, and the stasher is only used if you mess up. But the way the copycat tool works is you could right click to select an item, then you could press R to duplicate it, and you could click again to just to paste that item into the world. You could do some pretty cool settings with that. If you hold C, it opens up the setting menu. You can inherit rotation, which is really good if you have like some really obscure rotations on your items and you want to make more. And you could do grid snapping. So I typically work with grid snapping off or grid snapping on 7 because that's what I found is most convenient and not too many items glitch through the floor and stuff. So the first tip I have for making custom rooms would be how to add rooms where rooms don't belong. An example of that would be over here, where I have this room, which normally goes straight there. I have it come out to the right, and I had to remove a wall to do so. So you do that by first, we're going to pretend like this is the wall that was there originally, like a wall in your condo that you cannot move. So we'll make this brick. We'll just turn the scaling up, and let's make it actually big like a wall. And walls are a bit thicker, so we'll make it roughly that thickness. That looks good. Also, yeah, I might as well mention it. If you click on an item, just left click on it, it brings up this little menu where you can change the scaling, the rotation, the position of all of them. You could copy and paste these coordinates, which make it really easy if you want things to all be on the same elevation or the same x-axis or the same y-axis. Or you could click and drag it here, but that tends to be a little less precise. You could typically make very minor adjustments using this. So highly recommend. You're going to see me doing that a lot for this. Same with scaling and rotation, you could just click and drag. Also, big mistake, don't lock your rotation. And if you ever do lock it, unlock it immediately after. Because as you can see, this is all different right now. If I were to lock it, right, and I were to click on just some random item in my condo and forgot that I locked it, the second I click it, it won't give me any choice. It just fixes all of that. So remember to always turn that off, or else you'll mess up some of your stuff. Alright, so to make those to remove a wall in your condo and add some custom stuff, what you're going to want to do, and to make this a bit more true, we're going to add it to a point where there is nothing on the other side. First thing you want to do is make it a material that you can see through, right? So I'm going to make it glass, because I can still see where the wall is, but I can still see through it as well. The next thing you want to do is take out a canvas wall, and you want to get it as close to the center as possible, and just make it the same. Always lock things that you're not using. Like, make it the same thickness as the wall itself. You don't need to be too precise, but try and be as precise as possible. That's good enough for our purposes. You might want to make it a bit better in yours, but it doesn't really matter. Then make it whatever texture the wall originally was. So for ours it was brick. So make it brick. If you're making huge walls, brick doesn't scale really well. What scales really well is if you go to the plaster. House plaster scales well. Underwater plaster scales perfectly, and The concretes, some of them scale well, some of them don't. So we're going to use the underwater plaster just because of how smooth you can make it look. Next thing you want to do is you want to drag this somewhere in your wall. Oh, I just missed that, but there we go. And you want to make it however big you want it to be. Scale it up to the top. The next thing you want to do is take the copycat tool, copy it, inherit rotation, duplicate it, paste it, and then you want to put it inside the wall. Now the way you do that is you just copy the x coordinate from your first wall, paste it into your second, and you can make all the adjustments you want by dragging the y coordinate to make your door whatever width you want. Now you duplicate it one more time, paste in the coordinate one more time, and now you want to put it right where your door was. Bring it up, scale it down, and then you replace the wall. So at this point all you have to do is make the wall on the other side, or the room on the other side, my bad. So easiest way to do that, use a canvas wall, because then you could have it extrude as much as you want rather than needing to worry about it being symmetrical on each side. Make this whatever you want, we'll just use like smooth concrete. And now to get on the other side of this wall, what you're going to want to do is take a teleporter out, right? Put it as close to the wall as possible. You're going to want to make it pretty skinny. Fit the entire width. And this one's kind of important. You want to make it a bit taller than normal. Then what you want to do is sink it into the floor. Oh, I'm editing the wrong thing. This is why you gotta lock everything. Sink it into the floor just right past where you could see it. And then to get rid of this annoying glow, all you gotta do is edit it and turn off the color. Just move it all the way down and it disappears. Now what you want to do is duplicate that, still with rotation lock on, put it on the other side of the door, and then sink this one into the ground. And the last step that you want to do is take out your targeting gun, right click that one, stand a bit far away so you don't activate the teleporter once you come in, left click, and then do the same for the other one. Oh. Now it should work where you walk into the door and it teleports you to the other side. You can play around with the values, get it as close to the other teleporter so this noticeable jump is as small as possible. And the very last step is to edit your pre-existing wall. You go all the way down to the very last wall option and click invisible wall. If you want, you could put a door there. It's not needed, but if you wanted, you could put a door there. Edit it however you want to fit. Really, this part's just extra flair. Then you have a door that you could walk through. If you put your teleporters right, you could actually make it so when you walk into the door, it won't teleport you unless the door is open, which we should be able to see here. Yep, door won't teleport you. Now it will. That's because the hitbox for this door itself is going to block you from stepping on that teleporter. Alright, the next thing I get asked a lot is how do I add these windows into my condo, right? So a window here in the wall. It's pretty much the exact same thing we just did, but with no teleporters. So instead what we would do, if I just get rid of the door here, do everything we just did, make the wall invisible, add the canvas walls. The only difference, right, is I have one on the bottom and one on the top. Let me get the X coordinate. You just move it down a bit. And then to get that little window effect, that I did. Place a canvas wall in the middle. Don't have to be too precise, but if you wanted, put in the coordinate and that'll perfectly center it. And then make it whatever material you want it to be. So for me, I did water. Waterfall is a bit too aggressive. Just do water, and now you have this little window in a wall that you're not supposed to be able to move. You could get real creative with these, right? Where you could you have a teleport to there, and then you could have windows over here. Just play around with your condo. Put stuff where stuff normally isn't. Add rooms, remove rooms, build stuff. You can really do a lot with this game. There's a lot that you could do when it comes to building. The very last thing I want to show you guys how I did is these doors here. Like, that takes you to my theater. We just walk into it and it teleports you somewhere else. It's done pretty much exactly as you think it's done, where it's just a door. It's super simple. It's just a door, right, with a teleporter behind it. You don't need to adjust any other things besides the Z. Typically you want to make it a bit bigger. This is going to extend the hitbox out, so it'll clip through the door and through any other items you might have. And then very last, people are going to be opening and closing the door a lot. So in order to make it so they can't do that, what you want to do is take out get canvas cube, canvas wall, doesn't matter. Make it thick and just cover the door with it. Make it invisible. Oh. Make it invisible. And they should still be able to teleport. I guess I need to adjust my teleporter a bit more. And make it quite too thick. You make canvas walls off. Oh yeah, it's off. Okay. Want to make that just flush. Yep. And then you'll be able to teleport. You can put that wherever you want, and you can use that method to rearrange all the rooms. Like I put my bathroom up here. You can just move stuff around with that. I put a sauna over here, which is the closet to the bedroom. What's normally the bedroom for me is an aquarium. So yeah, just play around with stuff, have fun, and that's pretty much all there is to it.